Take me out with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I'm
Sandy into his windup. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed a perfect game.
High fly ball into right field. She is gone. In a year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened. Fernando Valenzuela has pitched a no-hitter. Thank you, Kershaw. This is a no-hitter. It is gone. It is a walk-off home run for Justin Turner. It's over. Muncy, a walk-off home run. This is way back. Walk 'em off. Chris Taylor.
buy me some peanuts and cracker jack. I don't care if I never get back.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
Welcome to Dodger Stadium.
Dodgers win.
This is the golden age of Dodger baseball.
Grand slam. It's a double for Freddie. Monkey magic.
They're going to make big signings. They're going to make impact trades. This is the most anticipated season in Dodgers history.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
Think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out. What is up, Dodgers Nation? Welcome to the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. Thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers lose to the Phillies. Not much love for LA in the city of brotherly love. The Dodgers get rocked. They lose by a final score of 10-1. They fall to 55-37 on the season. 7 games up on the San Diego Padres in the division. And the big story tonight was Bobby Miller. Bobby Miller has had a rough go of it this year. His first start of the season, he had 11 strikeouts. He was outstanding in that one. Since then, he hasn't had an ERA north of 10. His ERA on the year sits at over 8. Expected numbers a little better, but at the end of the day, the results just have not been there for Bobby Miller. And this wasn't just his worst start at the big league level. It was his worst start in the history of his career. You have to go all the way back to May 10th, 2019, when he was at Louisville, and he gave up 8 runs to the Virginia Cavaliers, Chris Armand Taylor Jr.'s alma mater, to find a start where he had performed this poorly. And got some thoughts on the rotation, what I think the Dodgers need to do. We'll talk about Tyler Glasnow and him being sent to the IL, what that means for this rotation. The Dodgers offense, they had their opportunities tonight. This could have been one of those games where it was a high-scoring game, and it was like the Chiefs and Rams in the Monday Night Football a couple years ago, and it was okay, last team to score wins, but the Dodgers, they just couldn't take advantage of themselves. They go 0 for 11 with runners in scoring position and left 12 men on. James Outman, he had a big opportunity with the bases loaded, and he's unable to come through. Gavin Biggio, he got his first home run, his first extra base hit for the Dodgers. That was the Dodgers' lone run on the evening. He gets a solo shot there in the top of the 5th inning. But yeah, nothing doing for this Dodgers offense. They had opportunity. 7th inning, Outman struck out swinging, but at that point, you're down 9-1. So it's tough to talk about the lack of offense when your starting pitcher gives up 9 runs. You're not going to win very many games. And look, with Bobby Miller, lots of thoughts on Miller. We got Noise by Noel, my man, in the chat. Gavin Biggio is my GOAT. Yeah, great to see Gavin Biggio. Yeah, let's look at the Michelada half full, right? Michelada half full. Gavin Biggio got his first extra base hit as a Dodger. A lot of you guys telling me, oh, the apple fell far from the tree with Gavin Biggio. His dad, Hall of Famer Craig Biggio, he's not at that level. Of course, we know that, but he gets a home run tonight. And how about guys like Bryce Harper goes 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against Bobby Miller? How about Austin Barnes with a hit as a DH? How about Kike Hernandez? Kike Hernandez tonight, a position player pitching. Kike Hernandez, he didn't do the little thrust there, which I'm glad because you had to censor that stuff out. It's a family view, but he goes an inning and a third through just 9 pitches, gave up no run. So those are the positives, but of course, I'm only joking because there's mostly negatives tonight against this Phillies team that's been the class of the National League. And Bobby Miller, 4 innings, gives up 9 runs on 10 hits, had just 2 strikeouts, and he did 87 pitches to get through 4 frames and through just 54 strikes. And I think we're going to break down his outing in its totality. The big issue with Bobby Miller just does not have the feel for that breaking stuff. The four-seam fastball, the velocity on his heater is down. The location is down tonight. Bobby Miller averaged 96.4 miles per hour on his four-seam fastball, where if you locate it, that can still play up, but when you combine the lack of command with the velocity being down 1.2 miles per hour, you can see why the success wasn't there. Just had some opportunities, just didn't really get ahead and find a way to put out guys with 2 strikes. So we're going to break down his outing, but first and foremost, if you haven't yet subscribed to the #1 Dodgers YouTube channel, the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button, and most importantly, comment Go Tawny down below so you're eligible for our next big-time giveaway, an authentic Shohei Ohtani Gray Road Authentic. We're giving that away at 95,000 subscribers. We're going to do a giveaway before then, Dodgers Nation t-shirts, Dodgers Nation hats, so be on the lookout for that too. Also looking out for the comment of the show. See some comments of the show, you're going to see one of these. If I see any fire takes, anything hot, anything spicy, you're going to see one of these.
Fire take.
Who's the Dodger dog of the game? Maybe Kike Hernandez, maybe Austin Barnes, but do you have a Dodger dog of the game?
Dodger dog of
But let's dive into some comments here. We're going to break this one down. Alex, emergency ass episode. Yeah, that's facts. We had to go on here a little later today, but still had to go on and talk about this outing because, look, you can't take this stuff lightly because starting pitching wins championships. Starting pitching is the single biggest reason. I've seen people in the last couple weeks that have finally got on the bandwagon about the Dodgers needing starting pitching. If you've been watching my show, I said that even after Tyler Glasnow and after Yoshinobu Yamamoto, they still need to get more arms because I've seen this movie before. I've seen this show before. The rotation looks great on paper during spring training, and then every year it feels like a season of Squid Game. Guys going and dropping like flies, and just like that, you lack starting pitching depth. And the guys that have been in there lately just have not performed well. I mean, James Paxton, he gave up 9, and he got shelled back in late June up against the Giants. If you look at the Dodgers starting pitchers in their last 10 games, they've allowed 45 runs in 44 innings. That is not going to get it done ever, okay? They've been about as reliable as the ice cream machine at your local McDonald's, okay? And that just can't be the case. And you definitely need guys like Bobby Miller to figure things out. You definitely need guys like Tyler Glasnow and Yoshinobu Yamamoto to come back healthy. Gavin Stone did have his best start his last time out, but the warning signs have been there. The red flags have been there. Now I think that the ball is in Andrew Friedman's court. And I know that Andrew Friedman is viewing this. He has a plan, and we're going to see how many pitchers the Dodgers are going to acquire because you guys know how all in I am on Garrett Crochet. Well, you might need a Garrett Crochet and a Jack Flaherty. Okay, Nathan Eovaldi is a guy that could be available. The Texas Rangers could be sellers. Max Scherzer, the Texas Rangers are sellers at this point. Tarik Skubal, I don't think is going to be available. That's what I've been told. If he is available and you can wow him with a Godfather offer, he is another game-changing premium pitcher. But the #1 priority, and yes, you could use another bat. You can use another bullpen arm. But if they don't go out there and make aggressive moves to acquire frontline starting pitching, then I don't think the Dodgers are going to have a deep run and win the World Series this season because there's just too many ifs about this rotation, whether it's health-related. Guys like Clayton Kershaw are going to come back. Is Yamamoto going to come back? Is Tyler Glasnow going to stay healthy? Is Walker Buehler going to come back and figure it out? Is Bobby Miller going to figure it out? Is he going to stay healthy dealing with the shoulder, even though he said it's strong, right? Gavin Stone, is he going to be able to maintain this the entire season? Every single Dodger starting pitcher has a question that is behind them, and that is definitely an issue when you're a team that is as all-in as the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it is the #1 concern right now, starting pitching, starting pitching, starting pitching. Say it with me, the Dodgers need starting pitching. I love you, D-Mac. Oh, this is from Donut Smash. I love you, D-Mac. I have a framed photo of you next to my bed. You know you're getting a bruff. You guys always kill me on this show. Is Bobby hurt? Ricky Flores. I've spoken to Bobby Miller. And he feels fine. He really does. The shoulder is strong. Yes, the velocity is down. And based on, people I've talked to in the Dodgers, they expected that it was going to take a couple of starts for him to really, really find his footing. They knew it wasn't going to happen overnight. You saw some warning signs when he escaped a jam in his start against the Diamondbacks, but there were some warning signs. And you look at the bottom of the second inning, and Castellanos, he gets into flat for the second out. He's already got 2 outs, right? Got Stott. He grounded out to third for the first out, and he was missing on command in that one. He was missing with the glove side changeup. He was missing arm side with the curveball, and then he gets Castellanos to fly to center, and you're feeling okay about it. But then it's the walks. He walks Marsh on 5 pitches. During that at-bat, he's just pulling the curveball. He's pulling the four-seam fastball. He was erratic with the changeup, missing arm side with the changeup up and away. And then Marsh steals second, and then Marchand, another deep count, a 3-2 count. That's a four-seam fastball that's just out over the plate. Marchand, he singled to right to score Marsh to make it 1-0 Phillies early. And then Rojas, he reaches on an infield single to second. Marchand gets to second, so that sets the Phillies up. And Rojas end up at second on a wild pitch by Miller, so he was spiking wild pitches. And then Schwarber on a 1-1 count, he singled to center to score 2 runs to make it 3-0 Phillies early. So they get 3 runs on 3 hits. Then the bottom of the third inning, he settles down a little bit, struck out Harper swinging, four-seam. If you look at the at-bat he had against Bryce Harper, that was his most impressive at bat, and that's when I think he was the most dialed in, where he said, okay, change up right on the inner half. Then he got a swinging strike on a curveball on the outside corner, fouls off the curveball on the 4th pitch. He attacks him with a 97-mile-per-hour fastball right down the middle of the plate, and he got the swing and miss. So that is the version of Bobby Miller you want to see. His stuff is too good to nibble around the plate. Then he walked Bohm, then stopped foul to the catcher, to Will Smith, then Castellanos, he popped to short, and he gets out of that inning. So we'll talk about the 4th inning next, but first and foremost, give me your grade for Bobby Miller's start. And on a scale of 1 to 10, what is your concern level right now with Bobby Miller? Angel Escobar, D-Mac, they may need you to pitch against Detroit. Hey, I'll loosen this thing up like Chuck Steadman, Rookie of the Year, man. I still got a couple in me. Bobby Miller doesn't look right, to be honest, from Rainbow House. Miller time is over. That's from Anthony Diaz. Kermit, D-Mac, I get that every team has pitching injuries, but it just seems like the Dodgers have the brunt of it year after year. Do we need a new training staff? It's not the training staff that's the issue. It's that the Dodgers, they bet on upside, and they would rather roll the dice on a guy that has high upside potential because they know that's what wins in the postseason. And some of those guys, they tend to get injured, right? So that's really where it stands. And unfortunately for them, they've had some bad breaks when it comes to pitchers' injuries, and there's no doubt about it. We got Dino's 5150. Postseason is already a loss. Don't pretend anything will change. Dodger Blue 82. I don't trust Miller and Bueller. Bobby Miller, Hector Ramirez. Is Bobby playing through an injury? Velo has been down, hasn't Alex? It has been down. And when your velocity is down, a lot of times you're trying to overcompensate by overthrowing, and that's what leads to pitches that are outside of the zone. That's what leads to misses out over the plate. And unfortunately, I think you're onto something there. And whether or not it's an injury, which he claims that it's not. He said again and again that that's healthy, that shoulder feels fully healthy. But I do think that it's a ramp-up period for him, too. I think there's a ramp-up period, and I think you look at where he's at as a pitcher, it's just the four-seam fastball, he needs to have it up in the zone. And I think you want to see a little more sinker from him. You want to see a little more cutter on the edges. And I think that's an adjustment he can make to his repertoire that can allow him to have a little more success. Because when that's throwing that four-seam fastball to the glove side, it tends to leak out over the plate. And that really is something that's an issue. Because let's be honest, when you are throwing 100, you can get away with that kind of stuff. At 96, at the big league level, they're going to time that because they can time a bullet. They can time a rocket ship, and that's what happens. So, yeah, I think for him, you have to do a little bit of a reinvention on the fly until you get fully ramped up and you get that velocity back and that confidence back. So that's definitely it. But we need a starting pitching help. As of today's playoff picture, we have the third or fourth best starting pitching rotation. Like I said, last 10 games, that's just not going to get it done. 45 runs and 44 innings of work, you're in big trouble if you do that. We got Anthony. No one cares about the Biggio home run. Relax. I was just kidding about that. Dino's 50-150. Biggio is a slap to the face of fans. You tell me why he deserves a roster spot. We got Sid Duenas just reaffirms the need for another starter and a bat. So many opportunities wasted with runners in scoring position. We'll talk about the offense in a couple of seconds here. Kike being the best pitcher right now. Charlene O. Yeah, I mean, Kike Hernandez, a very versatile player. He's basically played every single position there is to play, but when he's in the game, you know something is not going right, and he's throwing 50 miles per hour, but still, the results were there. Ron Fig, what up, Ron Fig? We got Ant Miller from B90. Bryce Harper looks like he was still hurt. That's from all around Lacey 127. Should have kept Justin Turner at third base. His defense has slipped. Offense hasn't been great in the postseason. I think that's not the big issue. Alex, I was working, so I missed the game. Sounds like it was a painful watch. It definitely wasn't a fun one. Let's put it that way. We need this therapy session right now, guys. We need to get through this together as Dodgers fans. David Sabatini, what's up, D-Mac? Rochester, New York in the house, buddy. We need pitching. Roy Estrada, Kanye, this is not the same Dodgers team we will see in the playoffs. Big trades coming, book it. Roy Estrada, that is definitely a comment of the show. Because if anything, if you're a Dodgers fan and you have questions about some of these guys, even when they're healthy, well, now this performance leading into the break, leading into the All-Star break and to the trade deadline, this is going to put all the pressure on a team that already spent $1.2 billion in the offseason to add reinforcements, to acquire external talent that can get this team over the top. Because I think right now, like I said, too many ifs for the starting rotation to say, okay, this is a team that's all in. And with Shohei Ohtani, the way he constructed his contract, he did it so the team could add pieces. And he's going to be looking at what they're doing at the deadline, and he's in his prime, having an MVP season. Freddie Freeman back to putting up MVP-level numbers. Mookie Betts was playing at an MVP level before he was injured, so there is no reason why this team can't go out there and acquire top-end talent. And I think, look, this could be – these struggles right now leading up to the deadline could definitely be something where, in the end, you're better off. Because if they were doing a Dodgers summer and winning every single game and you're having magical moment after magical moment, and then the decline happens in August and September, well, guess what? There's no moves to be made. So if you're going to struggle, if you're going to have injuries, if you're going to highlight glaring needs, if you do it now, you still have an opportunity to address those needs. So really, it's the best time of the year to go through what they're going through. So we got the Dino's. Hi, Andrew. Do you want me to spin this thing for the press pass and perks? Dino's, you got to appreciate the fact that I will read. Like, this show, comments on the screen. You guys can respond to everything. We don't always have to agree. Even if it's something you would disagree with me with, trust me, I can take it. I'll give you a fire take for that one, Dino's. We got the grass at Citi Field is my Dodgers dog of the day. I'll give you a Dodger dog. I'm worried about their ability to hit against aces like Wheeler. Yeah, if you watch the morning show, Dodgers Dugout Live, I said the number one thing that I was looking for in this series, the only thing I really cared about, because I knew that Bobby Miller and Gavin Stone, they're not going to be your number one or number two starters in the postseason, was how do some of these young guys fare against some of these elite starting pitchers around Major League Baseball. And tonight, clearly, they did not pass the test against this Phillies team, against Zach Wheeler. They had multiple opportunities, and they just couldn't capitalize. And it's definitely a microcosm of what we've seen this season at times. And look, you heard Steven Nelson, the broadcast. This team, they scored 41% of their runs last year with 2 outs. This year, they're bottom third in baseball with 2 outs. This isn't the same clutch-hitting team that we saw last season, and that team last year was the surprise 100-win team. They were the team that did have Shohei Ohtani and Teoscar Hernandez. So, look, you look at top of the first. Will Smith, he drew a 1-out single. Teoscar Hernandez, he was safe at first after an error from Trey Turner. They had runners in the corners. Outman struck out swinging, so couldn't take advantage of that opportunity. They go 1-2-3 in the second. Third inning, you had an opportunity with Shohei hits a one-out single. Smith struck out looking. Freeman struck out looking. So the offense, they weren't in sync today. But let's talk about that fourth inning here, and we'll continue to dive. Actually, let's do 10 more comments here, and then we're going to dive into that fourth inning where the proverbial wheels fell off for your boys in blue tonight. Dodgers losing 10-1 to the Phillies. Dodgers 55-37 now. 7 games up on the Padres in the division. Thank you for joining us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button so they can win tomorrow. If you want to see the Dodgers make a big trade, hit the like button. Eddie Buzz, Doug, call the Mets for Severino, Quintana, Peterson, Jill, along with Starling Marte or Harrison Bader. So you want to raid those Mets there. We got starting pitching, Mirojo. We got Brian Gax. What up, Brian Gax? How you doing, my guy? Angel Escobar, 5 through 9 hitters were all easy outs tonight. Yeah, and on the flip side, the Phillies 7 through 9 went 7 of 9. So you can't let the bottom of the lineup for the opposing team beat you. And we saw that. Preach, D-Mac saying it all season. We need pitching. Exactly. I've seen some other people late to the party. Not this guy. D-Mac, you think the Dodgers will bring up a reliever, Reynaldo Yin? I don't think they'll do it this year. I don't think so. Fire take, we cooked. There you go. You can cook that on fire. Freeman, what up, Nando390? Nando. Freeman been in a coma since signing Ohtani. Eddie Buzz, Bobby Miller looks lost. No confidence right now. Ken Duncan 9, Miller's problems are between his ears. There's definitely something to be said about putting it all together. And like I said, the at-bat where he strikes out Bryce Harper, he trusted his heater. He trusted that fastball, and he got the swing and miss. But when things start to speed up on Bobby Miller, that's when he gets into trouble. It's big inning Bobby. That's what we need to avoid, right? Big inning Bobby. We just can't not have that. The BIB. We just can't have it. The big inning Bobby. He avoids that. Go out there and be effective and help this team. You saw there in the 4th inning. Gives up a leadoff single to Marsh. Four-seam fastball. Wasn't well located. And then Marchand, first pitch. That was that 95 four-seam fastball right out of the plate. He doubled to left, and they're in business. They're cooking to start the 4th. And then Rojas, 0-1 pitch, with runners there on 2nd and 3rd. He scores after that single. That makes it 4-0 Philadelphia. Rojas steals 2nd. Then to Schwarber. That's when he really started to miss badly with command. He misses with a changeup up in the zone. Pulls the slider down and in. Used too many non-competitive pitches. Then misses with the four-seam fastball down the zone. Gets a strike looking on a changeup down in the zone. Then on the 5th pitch of the at-bat, a 3-1 count. He misses very badly. Pulls that four-seam fastball. And usually when you see misses that bad, the release point is off. Mechanics aren't synced up. So the good news is you can kind of directly point to some things with Bobby Miller. Mechanics are rough right now, and he hasn't had always the cleanest mechanics, and that's definitely something that they'll address. And then you get the bases loaded, and it's old friend Trey Turner at the plate, and first pitch, he hangs a juicy cement mixer slider right out over the plate, and Trey Turner did not miss it.
Very much. Fly ball, left field, going back Vargas, toward the wall, it is gone! Grand slam, Trey Turner!
I mean, you just look at that slow-mo right there. That's the slider right out over the plate, and Trey Turner is too good of a hitter to miss that, and that's just not a good pitch to start at-bat with the bases loaded. I'm sorry, a slider, you miss that badly. That's one of the worst misses I've seen in a long time from Bobby Miller, and Trey Turner, he crushed it. He hits a grand slam. That put the Phillies up 8-0 at that point, and he comes back, he strikes out Harper again on 3 pitches. Much better at-bat there. Gets him with the curveball down the zone. Couple batters later, though, 1-2 count, gets ahead of Stott, and then he can't finish him off. Fourth pitch, curveball, fouls it off. Fifth pitch, changeup, fouls it off. Sixth pitch, misses up in the zone with the four-seam fastball, and then seventh pitch of the at-bat, he leaves that curveball up, and he hits another home run. The Phillies do, and that puts them up 9-0, and then he gets Castellanos to ground out. So, yeah, I mean, you see right there, 6 runs on 5 hits, no errors. The breaking stuff just was not good. It wasn't sharp, and his secondary pitches really are set up by the command of the four-seam fastball. But look, I'm a big believer in you don't want to present a problem unless you have a solution. And I think one of the solutions is he threw the four-seam fastball 39% of the time. He threw the sinker only 7%, only threw 6 sinkers. And that really is a pitch that the Dodgers pitching staff has been trying to have their pitchers implement more. I think you want to see more sinker. I think you want to see him implement a cutter because he's not going to be able to get by with that four-seam fastball with the command that it's at right now. It's not like it's a high-spin four-seamer or anything like that. So, and the spin was down today too. So, more comments here, guys. Welcome. Not a fun show. It's always fun talking Dodger baseball. I mean, look, think about that. I mean, there's a lot of things we could talk about. At least we're talking about Dodger baseball. Big trades coming. Ha, ha, ha. Here's Keith Potter over on YouTube. D-Mac, if someone would have told me at the beginning of the year that Sheehan would be on the IL, Miller would have an 8.07 ERA, and Stone would be our best pitcher, I would have called them a liar. Well, Keith Potter, you've been a baseball fan long enough to know that just happens sometimes. I mean, Ross Stripling and Tony Gonsolin and some of these guys that start the season just kind of have their years. There's always these surprise starters, and I think Gavin Stone is more than those guys were, to be quite frank with you, just because I think that I believe in his talent level. But, yeah, I think Bobby Miller, it's definitely a situation where you're just discouraged because of the momentum that he had last season. And like I said, with Bobby Miller, big innings are a problem. And typically, big innings are really what define pitchers, okay? Because baseball is the sport that it's about grit. It really is. It's about grit. It's about grinding. It's about going out there and finding a way to get the job done when you don't have your best stuff, when it's not your best night. It's about finding that extra gear and being a little grittier, being a little craftier and saying, you know what, I'm just going to be an outs-getter right now and not sulking, not feeling okay, what's happening, why don't I have my best stuff? I think Bobby Miller, I get this vibe that he's kind of wondering, where's my best stuff? And if I don't have my best stuff, I can't go out there and just go and get out. Well, he definitely needs to kind of have a different mindset in those situations. And like I said, then you had, look, the second inning, the 2-out walk. You had 3 straight singles there in the second inning. So back to back to back, and then that was following a walk. And I mean, just nightmare innings. I mean, it took him 6 batters to get his first out in the 4th inning. And then gives up 4 hits and a walk, and then you had the Trey Turner grand slam. So, I mean, it just the way the things lined up were not pretty. And like I said, his numbers on the year, an 8.07 ERA, a 6.30 FIP, a 4.57 expected FIP in his 7 starts on the year. And he talked to reporters after the game, and you can see the frustration. I mean, this is someone who's used to dominating, and opponents are hitting 304 off him this season, slugging 539. But here's Bobby Miller after the game talking about his start tonight.
Just everything you just said. Mainly just execution, fighting to get back into counts. Yeah, I mean, you face a team like that and you just make like unexecuted pitches. They put good swings on it every time. There's some unlucky stuff in there as well. I didn't think that grand slam was hit too hard, but at the same time it wasn't a great pitch, so they're going to capitalize on that. So yeah, I got some work to do. Just execution and getting ahead of batters. Just being in attack mode, like it's when I'm at my best. I'm in attack mode and get ahead of guys and put them away fast instead of getting 0-2 and working into 3-2 a lot. So that's really the biggest takeaway is just just getting ahead and putting guys away fast is what I'm best at. So it's been tough. It really has. But I'm going to use that as motivation in my next outing for whenever that is. Just use all this this failure as motivation going into my next outing. Obviously velocity is a little down too, but just stuff just doesn't have as much bite to it right now. Just not putting guys away fast when I get deep into a count, and just a lot of 3-ball counts, a lot of walks, just everything I'll put together. But I'm gonna get back to where I need to be. I know that for sure.
stuff isn't have the same bite. The velocity's down. Why is that?
I couldn't tell you. I'm trying everything I can. The shoulder's strong right now. Done testing on that. My shoulder's really strong right now, so it's probably just mechanics. Just a little bit of everything. So yeah, I'm just still trying to figure that out.
So you can hear from him that he's saying he's going to get back, and he's going to use his failure as motivation. That's definitely what you want to see. There's no doubt about that. And that, I think from a mindset standpoint, he's in a good place. But got some funny comments here. We got Charlene a 698 super chat. Appreciate you for that. Here's your comment of the show for this.
You win. Perfect.
And that says, for a beer, just don't make it a Miller. So kind of roasting him there. Give you a finish him for that one. And a finish him. But yeah, no, look, I say, if the Dodgers win, I drink. If the Dodgers lose, I drink more, okay? Because this team definitely can frustrate you at times. We got Matt Leiter said, it's bad when I'm hoping Lux strikes out the wrist, so there's no double play. He hits it to second base every time. Besides him, how many players do we have to hit under 230? We are Dodgers. Look, I'll tell you the quick and dirty with Gavin Lux. I see people out there freaking out about Gavin Lux and this and that. Truth of the matter is, and they're going through the process with Lux, seeing what they had. When Mookie Betts is back, all signs point to him being optioned, and then they'll see if they can get his swing back on track down in AAA, and then see what happens in the offseason, what they do at the shortstop position. But the truth is, people that are frustrated about Gavin Lux still being in there now, they're really failing to realize that if Mookie was healthy now, they probably would have been forced to make that move already. So it's really compounded by the fact that Mookie has gone down with an injury. And yes, there is some sunk cost fallacy when it comes to Gavin Lux. And I've said it before, it's kind of like when you go and you go and you see a movie, you go and pay for a movie, and it just disappoints. It disappoints you, and you're like, yeah, but I paid for the movie. I got to see the whole thing, right? So the Dodgers are kind of in that world where they want to see it through and see what's going on with Gavin Lux, because it's unfortunate he just has not produced, and there's really no way to slice it. I mean, he's been one of the least productive hitters in the sport, and really, that's not good enough to justify it on this team with the talent that they have available. But Nando 390 says Biggio kept his home run ball because he'll never hit one again. Okay. That's a finish here. We got we need pitching for years. Worst 6, 7, 8, 9 lineup in 50 years. That's from Dino's 5150. Call me crazy, D-Mac, but we need Luis Castillo. Oh, come on. Reptilian way. Yeah, I'm the president of the Luis Castillo fan club. I pretty much was on my way to the airport to pick him up when I thought they were going to trade for him, and he ends up in Seattle. I love Luis Castillo, but Mariners, their first place team. But we got just change out the entire rotation. Jason Diamond. That's a little bit of an extreme there. Moose 1032 D-Mac, do you think Miller goes on the IL and we see a River Ryan? I definitely think that River Ryan, as soon as he's ready, they're going to give him an opportunity because he's got that kind of stuff that has the potential to make a postseason roster. And with Tyler Glasnow, I was kind of hinting at the show. I kind of heard a couple of days ago that this is something that was in the works as far as Glasnow, and unfortunately not necessarily in the works, but this is something that unfortunately Tyler Glasnow gets in the play catch situation. We heard that Sunday, so heard about it yesterday. And look, he's someone that's already had 109 innings pitched, and he's someone that you need in October, so he's going to miss that start for the All-Star game, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's longer than the 15 days. I really wouldn't when you look at what's at stake for this team and what they still need him for, and that's to win in October. And I think that it's a good time for a reset for Tyler Glasnow. And, we'll talk a little bit about that in a second here, but I want to dive into more of your comments. D-Mac, post the thank you fans social media post already. Nando 390's on one today. Mariners beat the Padres 7-0, so our lead does not change. Hashtag think blue balls. Good vibrations. Okay, now relax. Roy Estrada on the bright side, Braves being the D-backs 5-0. Look, J-Kid 323, if you had Tommy John and bat 200, be happy because you still most likely will end up being a Dodger. LOL. J-Kid, you're killing me. You're killing me that one, right? But look, the truth of the matter is that it's not about the division. It really isn't. It's about finding the guys that you think are going to be contributors this season. I think really Bobby Miller is someone that was their game 2 starter last year. And I think right now, if you're looking at this postseason rotation, if Yamamoto comes back, of course, he's a part of it. Glasnow, that's your 1 and 2. Then you go out there and you trade for either a Garrett Crochet or another pitcher, potentially. He's your number 2 or number 3. And then where do people like Bobby Miller fit into this rotation? Because you have Gavin Stone. If Gavin Stone pitches like he's been pitching this season, there's no way you can have Bobby Miller over him. You can't have James Paxton over him. You still have Clayton Kershaw coming back. He's someone that really you don't want to see coming out of the bullpen. We saw it happen in 2019. We don't want to see that again. So they're going to have a lot of decisions to make. And the truth of the matter is that a lot of this stuff kind of works itself out. But it's frustrating. It's frustrating to see this team performing the way they are just because they're not the team that started the year on opening day, right? Just so many injuries. But still, it's no excuse. And they still have a ton of talent. You have to go out there and find a way to make pitches. But Ron Fig says, Bobby Miller reminds you of Walker Buehler. I don't know if it's a tight pants or the visible frustration when he pitches, badly, or both. Definitely some butane in there. I can see what you're seeing. Los Dodgers. The Dodgers took Philly fan out of the game, and it got quiet early. Yeah, they did in the worst way possible. But John Warfel says, why do position players lob the ball when pitching? Come on, they fire the ball from third to first. Yeah, it's very even pitch. Well, it's very different when you're trying because you're more confident about the location when you're fielding the ball versus when you're a pitcher. You're just trying to get over the plate. It's a whole different thing. It's almost like you're playing beer pong with it. You know, that's what it looks like. They're playing beer pong over the plate. And, yeah, give Kike Hernandez all the credit. Also, Chris Taylor, some good defense at third there. Knack should have had the start today. That's from Frozen Shotgun. Keith Potter, D-Mac. I'm going to keep beating this horse, but I have given Yamamoto my firstborn's rotator cuff. Muncie gets his oblique, and now Bobby Miller can have my firstborn's brain. LOL. Keith Potter. Man, there's not going to be very much he left. Whoa, what is up? The Dodgers Bleed Lows podcast. You guys don't listen to that podcast, you definitely should. My friend, Mr. Roger and Juan, my guys at the Carne Asada, and definitely want to be a part of that one day. He said, D-Mac, that's a fire take on the uniforms. Look, did you see those? The biggest L tonight was not the Dodgers. The biggest L tonight was the tops of those Nike uniforms. Those do not match, okay? The way the sweat, I see people in the comments saying Bobby Ice melted today. Yeah, it was hot there. That's for sure. But still, Nike, this is going to go down as one of these are the worst uniform situations since Adidas brought those sleeve jerseys to the NBA. Those terrible sleeve jerseys that LeBron ripped up. Those are terrible, terrible. But, yeah, look, the City Connects, the Funfetti, and the Pop-Tart thing with the DirecTV logo and they should have candles as the hats. No. To me, it's the mismatched gray jerseys. Those are the worst ones of the year because they do not even match. Don't let me start on Nike, man. Jeez. We got when Bobby Miller pitches, Dodgers Nation does the planet of the Look, like I believe that Bobby Miller is going to get back on track. I truly do. I don't think that this is something where he's a bust. And I'm old enough to remember people writing off Gavin Stone last season when he had a 9 ERA, and people say that Gavin Stone was going to be a bust. And then this year, Gavin Stone is a guy that people think should have been on the All-Star team. Okay? Well, it's reversed for Bobby Miller. Had a really nice rookie season, had flashes of greatness. How can you forget his start in Atlanta on the road when he pitched well? Yankees on Sunday Night Baseball. There were times when people were saying, you can't include Bobby Miller in a trade for anyone. He was untouchable. Even Dylan Cease last season, right? Well, now it's reversed, and people are saying Bobby is a bum. Look, these guys, when they're not performing at their level that we've seen, and they're not old, it's either injury or there's other stuff going on, okay? And it's going to take a couple starts for Bobby to really get the feel back, and it's going to be more of a process. Just hopefully you can get him in a positive way and head in the right direction, whether or not be for this year as a big contributor at some point or it's next season. Because okay, I got news for you. Depth You need as much starting pitching as you can have, okay? 1/3 of pitchers are going out with Tommy John surgeries and injuries. And when you have young, affordable talent, you have to develop it. So do not sell your Bobby Miller stock, okay? I'm not saying it's going to be Bobby's world or Miller time and all that stuff, but I do think that Bobby Miller is going to get back to being a really, really positive, additive player for this team. If he's not an ace, fine. If he's not number 2, fine. But I mean, look, his floor is a number 3, right? A solid number 3. With that kind of stuff, it certainly is. But back to your comments here. I want some comments of the show. I want some hot takes. Lakers are the Sully. That's from Nick Shrunk over on YouTube. May need to have Ohtani pitch soon. Los Doyers. Hey, man, have Ohtani pitch with his right arm. I'm pretty sure he could find a way to do it, man. I mean, with his left arm, trying a way to do it, man. I love how he mixes it up right there. I mean, come on, Ohtani, if anyone can do it, just go power. Forget Garrett Crochet, right? We got our lefty in Shohei. Bobby Miller, light today. That's from Mario Landaverde. David Sabatini, look at the bright side. Padres are getting crushed. Diamondbacks are getting crushed. We are all right. Sound like Kendrick Lamar out there. Charlene, really not sure why they chose him to start on the Phillies when he's still not 100%. Is it because of Glasnow? No, it's because that's how they lined up the rotation, because they're not trying to have guys start on shorter rest, and they have a planned bullpen game for this series too. So, look, at some point, you got to throw these guys in the fire and see what they have. But Miller needs a Corona. I like that take. What's your guys' beer of choice, man? I'm a Modelo guy, Pacifico guy, Natty Ice guy. I don't care. Whatever it is, I'm down. Bobby, you're a bad liar. Okay, let's go down here. We got to Bobby is a bust. That's just a fact. Totally disagree. Totally think that's premature. Totally premature. Bobby Miller, do you know how many teams would line up just to take on Bobby Miller right now? Okay, so let's not forget, the shoulder is something that he's working his way back in. Like I said, I've talked to people from the Dodgers, and they have told me that it's going to take a little bit of time to get back to where he was. Let's not forget, this is the guy against the Cardinals to start the year. He gave no runs on 6 hits, had 11 strikeouts and 1 walk, and we were talking about him as a lock to make it to the All-Star game, okay? So that guy is in there somewhere. Do not sell your Bobby Miller stock. I hate this whole thing that we do. Well, this player's bad. Let's write on this bad player. Let's write him off. He's trash. He's this and that. In certain situations, it does make sense if they're later in their career, if Father of Time has caught up to them. But when you're young and the velocity and the experience is still building and the velocity is still there, it's a work in progress, man. Bobby Miller is a WIP, a work in progress. I think that really he's a victim of his rookie year success at this point. But Oral can still throw from Nick Shrunk. When will Kirsch be back? He's going to make a rehab start, hopefully, for AAA this week, and he's going to need another couple after that. So he'll be back at some point after the All-Star break. Keith Potter says sweaty jerseys greater than the City Connect jerseys. Mike M., I would not be opposed to bringing up multiple AAA players and dumping several of these non-productive players. Mitchell Hopkins, is the timing of the IL stint, if you rest him now, he gets all the All-Star break off in those days count, I believe. Yeah, Mitchell Hopkins, like I said, I think all I'm going to say is I would not be surprised if it's longer than that 15 days, because he's already reaching that point of his career high. And I know Glasnow, he said on this show he wanted to set a new career high for innings pitched and games started, but they did not trade for him and extend him to be Tyler Glasnow. They wanted to be Tyler Glasnow in the postseason, mowing down opposing hitters on their way to a World Series title. But more comments here, guys. Thanks for rocking with us here at the Dodgers Nation postgame show, the #1 Dodgers postgame show here on YouTube. If you haven't yet, comment Go Tani so you have a chance to win. Also, comment your biggest takeaway from this game. And also, who's your biggest one at this point at the trade deadline? I'm just curious, because we're on full trade mode, guys. Give it time. Stone will fall apart. Mark Pry will see to that. Wow, Dinos is down. I'm calling you down bad Dinos tonight. Okay. Get rid of Lux. Let's not forget the fact that Roberts is soft. That's from Booty Sniffer. I'm just going to call you BS because that's a very interesting name there. Fire Take, Tony Taters, Young Lotto, and me, the new 7, 8, 9 hitters. I like that. Shout out to my crew right there. Those are my guys. Give them some love. Modelo Negra, that's David's beer of choice. Modelo Negra. I mess with Modelo Negra, too. Coors Light, Ray Soto. Yeah, man, I'll mess with some Silver Bullets. Johnny Owen Bobby, pitching machine. Miller, ouch. Ouch. Painful. Painful stuff right there, guys. Let's go some more here. Include Miller in a Scooble trade. But you want to trade guys when their value is high, not when their value is low. So that would make a ton of sense right there. Doug Randolph, Ellie De La Cruz wants to be a Dodger and talk with Ohtani. Yeah, look, Ellie De La Cruz, I mean, if there's one guy, he wants to be a Dodger so bad. I mean, this is someone that he plays GTA. I can just see him in Dodger blue. He's got Dodgers LA Hollywood personality written all over him, but he's under team control until 2027. But it'll be great to see him in LA. David Sabatini, better not see Friedman turn into Rob Pelinka at the trade deadline. D-Mac, yeah. We can't have him going full Darvin Ham hands in his pockets. Not happening with Friedman. Guarantee you. They're going to make impact trades. Didn't I promise you they would sign Shohei Ohtani literally 2 years ago? Didn't I promise you that they were going to make impact trades? I literally said the day after they lost the Diamondbacks, my plan, trade and sign Tyler Glasnow and sign Yamamoto. I got the video to prove I said on those dates. And I feel the same way right now because of how much is invested in this team. And look, quite frankly, the higher-ups, the owners of the Dodgers, and Ohtani's contract, hey, it ain't my money, right? It ain't their money. It's their money, and they are making money. Okay, they're printing money at Dodger Stadium. So let's let them cook, and let's see what Friedman can do. And I guarantee you it's not going to be like last year. This year, we're going big game hunting. We got the Lakers EB82. At the end of the day, they won. David Rivera, biggest hit to bring back Trevor. Didn't Trevor Bauer tweet out? What did Trevor Bauer tweet out during the show? I think he'd say, like, I'd pitch for the minimum. Hey, say what you want about Trevor Bauer, but he knows how to get the people talking over on the X machine. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, I believe that, unless that was a fake tweet. I don't know if that was a fake tweet or not. Let me go to Trevor Bauer. He did say, someone tweet him, Brian at BKY14 said, Bauer out is looking real good right now. Time for team to sack up and give this man his shot back. And then Bauer said, I'll do it for league minimum if they want. So, hey, man, Bauer's always doing crazy stuff over on the X, man. My biggest wants are Skubal, Rosarena, and Fairbanks. Like we talked about today, if you're going to do a deal with the Rays, get Fairbanks and Rosarena. If you Eflin as a possibility, right? I mean, if you Paredes over prospects, right? So I think that is a blockbuster move for sure. Hello, D-Mac. Hello, Robert Prado. Jason Schmidt sucks then. Hey, say, at least I know you've been a fan a long time. Jason Schmidt, I mean, signed for over $60 million, made 10 starts. So the Pirate, I'm telling you, he was an inside man. He was a secret agent working for the Giants that was there to sabotage L.A. And they knew he had rotator cuff problems. But Javier Moore, what's up, D-Mac? I have Dodger Blues. Yeah, let's hope Gavin Stone can pick it up tomorrow. You're right, D-Mac. What up, Moose 1032? There's a couple more here. Yeah, and Glass and Yamamoto are already on the DL. Big questions. AJ Alexander, yeah, D-Mac Stradamus gets it right most of the time. He's got the ear of the Dodger top. Well, I mean, look, man, for me, look, no one takes a victory lap like me. That's kind of the key. I just don't tell you when I'm wrong. No, I'm just kidding. I keep it real. I let's be honest, man. I'll own up to him if I'm wrong for sure. D-Mac, be honest, you're a little worried, right, SK? If the Dodgers could be undefeated this season with 0 players on the IL, and I'd be worried, okay? I've been a Dodger fan my entire life, okay? All I know how to do is worry about the boys in blue. So, yeah, am I a little worried? I am, because the injuries have continued to pile up, and it's only getting worse. The good news is we don't have that season-ending one to a significant impact player that could really put an end to this season. But, I mean, there's a couple ways. If you want to throw this one to the spin cycle, you go out there and say, wait a minute, this team is still right there in the top of the National League West. They're in the mix in the National League. If you have a couple of hot weeks and the Phillies have a down couple of weeks, you could find a way to win the entire National League as far as best record heading into the postseason. But, I mean, look at this list of injuries. Look at this list of injuries. I mean, Tyler Glasnow is the latest one. Yamamoto, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy, Jason Hayward, Clayton Kershaw, Joe Kelly, Brusdar Graterol, Emmett Sheehan, Ryan Brazier, Michael Grove, Tony Gonsolin, Dustin May. most organizations, if you have that amount of injuries to your impact players, your season is done. You are posting that thank you fans graphic on your social media accounts. You are sellers at the deadline. So, look, the good thing is they have a lot of depth on this team that has allowed them to, at the very least, tread water while they can get healthy and make some moves. And Michael Negretti, D-Mac, to be a starting pitcher and to play third base when not pitching, hot take. I'm down Michael Negretti. I'm down with that for sure. Like I said, bye Miller. Let's see more sinker. Let's see more two-seam fastball. Let's find a way to kind of change up the attack plan while you're getting your confidence and while you're getting velocity back, because you can't just go out there and expect the same results with the same level of stuff. So, a couple more walk-off shots here, guys, and we'll let you enjoy your Tuesday night. Matty Man Dodge says, Doug, don't jinx this, Doug. I'll try not to. We got a Go-Tani from Koreatown in L.A., the 90006. Trey Turner never hit grand slams for us. Paul Gutierrez. Trey Turner hit some grand slams for the Dodgers. Come on, man. I'll still remember that one against the Brewers late in the season. So, Trey Turner hit some grand slams, but hey, he slid his way over to Philadelphia. But that's going to do it for this episode of the Dodgers Nation Postgame Show. My name is Doug McKain. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA, DMac_LA. If you have not yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, hit that like button. Let's do a couple walk-off shots right now, some final takes from you guys who make this the #1 show on YouTube for Dodgers Post Game. This is your show. I'm just hosting it, so I want to get as many of your comments as I possibly can. We got, at least we still have the best IL pitching rotation in the league. That's from SK. Turner is the house you can't buy. The house I would buy is Soto, $500 million. That's from Chilltown All-Star. Oscar, D-Mac, I'm not going to lie, but even when fully healthy, I doubt LA can beat Philly in a 7-game series. Philly just shows more heart. It'd be a great series. At full strength, it'd be a great series, okay? I mean, Freddie's a dog, Mookie's a dog, and the truth of the matter is, we don't know what Ohtani looks like in the postseason. We don't. Teoscar Hernandez is a dog, too. So this ain't the Dodgers we've seen in the last couple of years. This is a very different team. I still think they got some tricks up their sleeve, and just like that, when those moves are made, you guys are going to get excited once again. But right now, they're just treading water, getting to, kind of crawling to the All-Star break. But thanks, David Sabatini, Craig Osterberg, Go-Tani, Time to Panic from Peanut Brooks, later Roy Estrada, Prone to Thrill, Dodgers Click More, JD Martinez, Philip Subia, Eddie, Adam 818. See you guys next time. Remember, nothing brings together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time.